all welcome to the first RPL Capacity Development Workshop jointly organized by NBTE, Tetfund, and funded by Tetfund. You are all welcome to this event, which is going to be a turnaround for the Nigerian Skills Qualifications Framework. The critical component of a qualifications framework is to have the upward mobility and the movement in and across education and training. And this is what RPL is going to give us. We have successfully built up the 9-level framework that has been approved, but we're able to build the ladder that would allow our professionals, our experts to grow. And you are all aware that the federal government has institutionalized the framework in the National Scheme of Service. So that is the ladder that we have now. But the RPL that our skill ambassador has been pursuing for a very long time is the one that is going to give us the movement across education and skills training. And we all know that the Honorable Minister of Education has been pursuing this agenda that in our federal technical colleges now, you will be admitting candidates that have or pass through NSQ qualification, meaning that from both formal, non-formal, and informal competency that has been recognized can now move into the education part. And with this, I think we need to appreciate the skilled ambassador, Professor Idris Bugaji, for this push. We thank you very much, sir, for this effort, because without RPL is fully institutionalized, will not understand the juicy part of Nigerian qualifications framework. So many people that have studied across the globe, when they come and they heard that we have NSQ in place, they were trying to come to say, how do you carry out RPL so that I will know my position or in my place of work? But because we lack, there is a gap that has been identified, we are not so comfortable to say we start the movement. But with this development, I believe we are going to get to the promised land, that we will now recognize Nigerian school qualification as one surest path that will take Nigerian youth and competent professionals to the promised land. Recognition of prior learning, as we are all had during our NSQ quality assurance training, is a method, but believe you me, it's much more than an assessment method. It is a system itself that will give opportunity for our young people. And we are all saddled with this responsibility, being quality assurance managers, that we need to support our young people achieve their dream of becoming competent citizens of this country, depending on their occupational area. With these few remarks, I would like to urge all of us to take this advantage, please. It's not an easy thing. If you are to take ILO RPL training, it is ranging between 600 euro to 1,600 euro. Am I right, Mr. Algo? It's ranging from 600 euro. Even the virtual one, the online training, is between 600 to 1,600 euro. Now we have it at our fingertips that NBTE, in partnership with Tetfund, were able to give us this opportunity. And the first in this country. Please, can we appreciate NBTE and Tetfund? And with these few remarks, I will say thank you very much for taking your time to come for this very important training. And please, let's take it as a training, not just a workshop. It's a real training. You can see the timetable is fully loaded. Let's take the advantage. To the resource person, we thank you very much for taking your time. And please do share the knowledge and experiences that you have on RPL so that we can move NBTE and Nigerian skills development agenda forward. I thank you very much for coming, and you are all welcome to this first RPL training in Nigeria. You are going to be the ambassadors because you are going to cascade this training at different levels. So please, let's take advantage of it. Thank you very much, and you are very much welcome. Thank you.
I wish to express our sincere appreciation to Professor Bugaji, and by extension the NBTE. He is described as the ambassador of skills in Nigeria. He is also the ambassador of skills in Africa. He is one of the pioneers who established the continental organization called SASASNet, which was given birth here in Abuja in July 2023. It's an organization that is now boasting membership in 43 African countries. And thanks to his leadership, his magnanimity, his insight, his love for skills, his love for the development of capacities, his love for development of Africa. He has been very supportive to SASASNet, and I can say that without him, SASASNet would not have reached this stage. He extended the support of the NBTE in housing SASASNet to be domiciled in Nigeria at the liaison office of NBTE, and he's working towards the relocation of the entire outfit to come to Nigeria to be able to coordinate the enormous work that is before us in coordinating skills and apprenticeship development in Africa. This event is very important, and it is going to be a pace setter, a model. SASASNet, one of its mandates is to build capacities. But how do we do it? We have the technical capacity in Africa to build the capacities in Africa. So we have a pool of experts in the different areas that concern SASASNet, and one among them is RPL. We have our country focal persons. We have among our membership consultants, experts who are engaged both at the national and regional, even worldwide, to be sharing experiences, to be sharing expertise in the development of skills. And as the previous speaker has said, Nigeria is now moving towards institutionalizing RPL. Of course, there are some countries that are doing very well. And I guess, I believe Dr. Kelas will share that information with you, the countries that are doing well. Nigeria may feel that it is not doing well, but Nigeria is on course. And once you are on course, you are doing well. So Nigeria is on course, and we hope that this event, this activity, this initiative is going to be shared, because SASASNet, like I said, this is going to be a model. SASASNet is now going to undertake this kind of engagement, inviting partners to go to countries, mobilize the trainers, the managers of quality assurance, and all those that matter in this skills and apprenticeship ecosystem, to share experiences. We have best practices to share. And it's not only from Africa, but also from outside, like it has been done by NBTE inviting AFD, the French Development Agency, to send us technical expert. So this is what SASASNet is doing, and we are doing this thanks to the support of RPL, the leadership of Professor Bugaji, the resources that are accorded to SASASNet by NBTE. So take advantage of this. And I also want to double down on what he said, that currently there are similar courses going on in person and online, but they are prohibitive in terms of being part of it, the cost. And now you have this at your doorstep. And this is what SASASNet is going to do. We're also going to start such online training, such in-person trainings across Africa, because we have the expertise to do that. We just need the support of the partners, including our governments. RPL is coming to address a critical issue. The large segment of those who are supposed to be doing skills in Africa will be coming from the informal sector. But the informal sector is yet to be organized formally. How do we help them to organize, to be assessed, to be found competent, to be certified? And this is what RPL is going to do. And SASASNet, this is the approach, to conclude, this is the approach of SASASNet. We are going to engage our governments that if they are looking for development, if they are interested in eradicating poverty, if they are interested in eradicating unemployment, they have nowhere to go to. They do not need to look further. Skills is the answer. And in skills, as far as Africa is concerned, RPL, which is dealing with the large chunk of those who need the skills, is the answer. And that's what SASNet is going to pioneer with support of governments and agencies like NBTE. Thank you very much, Professor. Thank you very much for your attention.
Let me start by acknowledging our lead resource person, Dr. Kailash, all the way from Mauritius. When I contacted Dr. Agrawal of ILO to give us an expert on RPL 2 years ago, he recommended Dr. Kailash. A very busy person, but quite articulate, and he has sacrificed, he has another engagement elsewhere. He has sacrificed to spend this week with us here in Nigeria to develop the capacity of our, quality assurance managers. So we thank you very much for finding time to come. Our other resource person, Dr. Architect Wambua, is on his way from Kenya. He was a little bit disappointed by the airline. So we have bought him another ticket and he has slept this morning. So hopefully, inshallah, this evening, he'll be joining us and tomorrow he'll join the workshop. The Secretary General of the SASASNet, Honorable Usman Silla, our resource person from the French government, Mr. Pascal. The French government was kind enough to give us a resource person here to stay with us at their own cost, to do two major things, to help us with the sector skill councils and also to help with SASASNet. So these are the two major areas he's helping us with, and that's why we say let him join this workshop and to see what is happening, and maybe he will also make his contributions. Other distinguished personalities here present, ladies and gentlemen, let me stand on the well-established protocol. I would like to use this opportunity to thank all of you for finding time to join. This is a very important, very auspicious occasion. RPL is a low-hanging fruit in the skills ecosystem in developing countries where you have a lot of the informal sector. Nigeria's economy is 75% informal. Other African countries, you go up to 85% informal. So the best way is to move forward, our economies forward, is to formalize the informal. And RPS is one of the tools that you can use to formalize the informal. In the year 2019, just before COVID set in, we made an attempt on RPL in Kaduna. We had in Kaduna that time Panteka, which in Kenya they call it Jua Kali. Jua Kali is a Swahili word. It means those who walk under the hot sun. If Wambua were around, he could have confirmed that translation. Those who walk under the hot sun. So Panteka means the same thing. Anything roadside is informal. The roadside mechanic, the roadside welders and vulcanizers, the roadside artisans, even construction, skills artisans who are operating in the roadside passion. These are the informal sector. And that's what we attempted to do in Kaduna in 2019. If I'm to cut the story short, and I'm happy one of you here is a witness. He attended the graduation ceremony. The graduation ceremony took place in 2022. Even if you discount 1 year of COVID, it took almost 2 years to graduate 70 RPL artisans. About half of them graduated well, about 40 or so. But in my speech during the graduation ceremony, I said to the Kaduna Polytechnic and to the professional body issuing the RPL certificate that you were given RPL a bad name. I know they didn't like that statement, but that's what I told them. You were given RPL a bad name. RPL shouldn't take more than a week or two. The experts will confirm. It's just assessment of your capacity. The competencies that are mentioned for that level of qualification, that's what they will assess. They will look at the samples of jobs you have done. And if you have met all the requirements, they will give you certificate NSQ for the appropriate level. But I understood why. And I think that professional body took it very seriously. On their own, they organized a trip to Kenya last year. So they went on their own to Kenya to see how RPL was being administered in the Juakalis. And I must commend them for that very, very spectacular move. I will not mention the professional body, but one of you here knows that professional body because he's representing them. We congratulate you for taking that very bold move. RPL should be a low-hanging fruit. Whatever area you find them, assess them, certify them. That's why we have brought about 10 resource persons from the polytechnics. These are polytechnics that are having serious engagement of our informal sector. Polytechnics are not ivory towers. We should therefore engage the informal sector, the downtrodden. These are sectors that have been neglected by universities and other, high profile or whatever name they call themselves, institutions. We as a polytechnic, we should engage them. We should bring them up, give them RPL. Then if you give them a certification on RPL, they will now be able to engage. They will now be able to go into further training. If they don't know their level, they wouldn't even want to know more. RPL will now facilitate them to know their level. So their competence will continue to grow. That's a major advantage. I'm not trying to speak on behalf of the resource persons anyway. And importantly, we also took 10 from the federal technical colleges. This is because the Honorable Minister of Education is now rebranding TVET. At that sub-tertiary level, he is bringing a lot of interventions. Students of technical colleges will now receive monthly stipends through an arrangement made by the Honorable Minister. Monthly, they will be paid stipend. The colleges will be paid some tuition fees so that they can buy consumable materials to run their training. Today, if you go to a typical technical college, you'll see them, you'll face what you call the broken window syndrome. That is bound to change. So the technical people from those colleges participating in this training are also supposed to engage the informal sector in their environment. Because the students, after you train them in the workshops, you must take them out for field work. They must learn on the job. In Nigeria, across the country, there are very few formal industries. Industries are only found in 2 states of the Federation, Lagos and Ogun states. All others, there is nothing to show. Kaduna, Kano, they are only growing, plazas, all over the place. New, big plazas. I don't know what's wrong with us. Plazas that cannot employ anybody.
not industries. But we felt you can engage the informal industry. So if there are no standard industries in your environment, the technical colleges, engage the informal ones. How do you engage them? You must first of all give RPL to the master craftspersons, to others, senior artisans. Give them, get the professional bodies also to give them certification. Once you know their level, then you can now engage them in the training of your young people. After their workshop or their classroom lessons, they will be sent to those industries, to those informal industries, and they will learn on the job, and they will be assessed on the job. So that's why we have brought 10 from technical colleges on the instructions of the Minister of Education. We have also invited 5 professional bodies, Koren, NIOB, NAPTEB, I think a few others. These are also the ones who shall drive this revolution, this important agenda of RPL, because you are the awarding bodies. You are to assess the assessment of whoever does it before you give the certificate. And even though the minister is saying that all certificates shall be centralized with NAPTEP, that is still being negotiated. And I hope the professional bodies are cooperating with that, at least in the interim. Let's see how far we can go. And if NAPTEP is able to do it well and build more capacity, then they can continue to coordinate it. Otherwise, we continue to run this track for education, and in other areas, awarding bodies should have their own rights to issue certificates to whosoever is qualified. We have also invited, which other category? We have invited some of the informal sectors. In Gausa is here because they are doing wonderfully, converting the Almajiri into an AI expert. From an AL Almajiri to an AI. This is what they are doing. We have also invited Lagos Ikeja Computer Village. They are doing wonderfully well. Just give them the specifications of any computer. They will build it for you. They may not call it Dell. They may not call it HP. It's their own model. And I have said, let them put a trade name. Let it have a trade name so that we can say that Nigeria is also producing computers. When I went to Maiduguri, I saw a small, phone village. When you give them what kind of phone you want, they will build it for you right there. When I went there, they said they were apprehensive. When they told them I'm a professor, they were apprehensive. They didn't want to open up. I had to get them relaxed. I had to praise the kind of good job they are doing. I said today in sub-Saharan Africa, only Rwanda is producing its own phones. Nigeria and other countries were importing phones. If we have people like you who have that capacity, they have made their own design. I said, patent that design. Get a trade name and register it. They were wondering which trade name to give. I said, give it the name Zulu. If you don't have a name. And this way, so they were happy. Then they opened up. They told me a lot of things they are doing. So we have a lot of latent talents in the informal sector. We need to move and bring them up, recognize them, so that they can move ahead in the ladder. That's the purpose of this workshop. Those of you who do very well, we shall select at least 8 who will go to 4 zonal workshops. The Southwest will have its own workshop. The Northwest will have its own workshop. Southeast, Southwest, Southeast, South will be combined into one, and Northeast, North Central shall be combined into one. And those who perform well in this are the ones who will go and conduct those workshops. So I'm very hopeful. Open your ears, open your eyes, please learn more, and then so that you can now go and cascade it. We're also recording it to help you deliver it when it comes to that level. So let me thank all of you here present, and let me not take much more time. In the absence of Tetfund, I had also invited the technical assistant to the minister, but I only invited her this morning. She said she will join when the workshop is ongoing just to see what's happening. So in the absence of Tetfund, let me therefore officially declare the workshop open. And I wish you fruitful deliberations, and may God bless you all. Thank you.
Dr. Kailash. I am very pleased to be hearing, first of all, when I heard Engineer Yusuf talking about, this qualifications framework. I mean, I've been preaching qualifications framework from 2006. And when I hear that, we need to articulate RPL with frameworks, actually, this is one of the important points which we always try to make whenever we introduce RPL in any country. I am very thankful to Professor for inviting me in this workshop. And of course, I'm grateful to Sasasnet for co-facilitating also this workshop. We have been actually doing this type of workshops all over Africa. And the purpose is that we need to have skilled and certified people in all over Africa. This is what we miss. I mean, we have people who have capabilities, and Professor has just given you an example of the computer. I mean, we have so many examples which we can share all over Africa. But unfortunately, these people are not valued. And today, I hope after this session that we are going to have together, you will be able and you will be good ambassadors for RPL. In this way, we are not only learning for ourselves, but we are also learning to impart it to others. I mean, I am still learning on RPL. I will not say I am an expert, in RPL and I know everything. I will also be learning from you during these 5 days. Because we need to know what you are doing. And this is one of the things which I have noticed in all the countries that I have been working on. There is always some sort of RPL which is ongoing. But people call it different names. And we will learn, and I am sure you will give me examples of situations where we have recognized people's experiences. And one of them, I think you have just mentioned in Kaduna, that you have done. I mean, we should build on all these experiences. So, thank you very much again for having me here, and I will not be long. So, I will pass on the mic to Engineer Bashir to take over. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Algu. I'm honored to be here today, having recently joined the NBTE as an international expert. I'm delighted to see the commitment and enthusiasm for the recognition of prior learning RPL initiative. France is proud to support Nigeria through various cooperation projects in the education sector, including French language teaching, vocational training, and university collaboration. RPL is a crucial concept in the new educational paradigm that is being established here, much like in France. This paradigm emphasizes a competency-based approach to education. As we moved forward, recognizing and validating skills acquired outside formal education will become increasingly important. Similar to NBTE, France has established a national directory of skills qualifications that included skills, method for evaluating these skills, and pathway to training. RPL addresses the latter two aspects. One, for access to training. If a candidate has already left school system, he must provide evidence of having acquired a certain level of skills that qualify him to the training. For training, organizations must be able of evaluating this evidence to authorize or not authorize the candidate participation in the training. Second, during the training, in line with the competency-based approach, evaluating a learner's knowledge with a multiple choice questionnaire is far no longer sufficient. The evaluation of the learner's skills must occur in complex situations where the learner provides evidence of their achievements. This required a different approach to assessment from the trainer. This workshop is vital, supporting this paradigm shift. And I encourage each of you to actively participate and share your insight. This will make a significant impact on the future of education and skill recognition. I wish everyone a fruitful session of sharing and collaboration. Thank you all. Thank you very much, Mr. Pascal Durand.
So in a nutshell, I want to say thank you to all of you who have made this occasion possible. And we want to wish you a safe trip back home, and we pray for a productive and fruitful engagement. The last thanks, which should be first, but I don't want to mention it first because he doesn't like it, goes to the principal and chief executive of NBTE, Professor I.M. Bugaji, who doubles as also the continental chair of this assassinate. So his work is only not for Nigeria, but at the continent itself. So when you have somebody chairing an activity covering for 3 countries, I think it's a big one, and I think the round of applause should be bigger than this. So, sir, I know you don't like it, but we all want to say thank you, sir, for all the wonderful effort you are seeing in transforming the Tibet landscape, not only in Nigeria, but across the nation, across the African subsector as subcontinent. So we are really appreciative, sir. And there are more efforts being done. I think maybe along the timeline you will understand. Even next month there is an activity related to such skills development on African scale, not even the Nigerian scale taking place. I hope later you will get to hear about it, and on and on. So we are hoping to see the Tibet landscape in Africa being transformed in the next 1 decade. All of it courtesy of the Executive Secretary of NBTE and also the Continental Chair of the Society. Thank you once again, sir. And thank you, the MC and the Secretariat and everyone else. We wish you a safe trip back to our various destinations after our productive engagement. Thank you once again.